When no one expected it, Ryan Martin stepped onto the Discovery Channel's Street Outlaws and instantly stepped up the game. He earned the respect of the racing community with his iconic Fireball Camaro and went on to win multiple No Prep Kings championships. The brand deals came pouring in, and fans adored him for the intensity he brought to the track. But now things are no longer what they seem. Even his own crew could not believe it. His fans have been in the dark for a while, and everyone seems confused about what might happen to this race king. Let's find out this news that has left everyone shook. Ryan Martin owns a Proline Racing 572 Kubicanch twin-turbocharged 481X, powered by 106mm precision turbos. You might know Ryan Martin from the popular Discovery show Street Outlaws, but before he became a star, he was just a young Ohio boy with dreams bigger than the Buckeye State. He was born on the 5th of September 1973, like the lives of all great legends. Martin's childhood experiences shaped him into a formidable racer. He never had it easy, and constantly fought for the life he believed he deserved. As a child, Ryan showed early interest in creative pursuits. He liked to paint, draw, and was inclined to photography. This side of him hinted that he might have a future in the visual arts. But his parents were in for a big surprise. This creative side meant something deeper. He had an eye for detail and a keen sense of beauty. These skills later became extremely valuable when he built and modified high-performance race machines. He committed artistic discipline to his craft and became one of the best at it. Music also played a significant role in his childhood and upbringing. He mentioned artists like Lil Wayne and Yo Gotti among his favorites, yet he also casually mentioned listening to Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Dr. Dre. His music taste was diverse, which was no surprise for someone with strong creative inclinations. For most creative individuals like Martin, the type of music they listen to during creation periods reflects the energy they bring to their work. And Ryan was no exception. Ryan's family structure also contributed significantly to the man. He grew up under the careful gaze and perseverance of a single parent. His mother raised Ryan and his sibling by herself while simultaneously attending school to become a professional nurse and working full-time. Despite the pressure, she managed to keep her children grounded and set an example of determination. She showed them that one could maintain values and focus on purpose regardless of the circumstances. Unsurprisingly, Ryan has always maintained a close relationship with his mom. He has repeatedly mentioned in interviews that he owes his mother everything. He describes her as a superhero because she saved him. He admitted to being quite mischievous as a child and often wished he had been more obedient. This is not to say his father was absent. Some of Ryan's fondest memories involve working on cars with his father and training horses with his mother. These experiences were not just random childhood activities, they taught him valuable lessons. Training horses required patience and discipline, while working on cars demanded mechanical knowledge. Without knowing it, he was building foundational skills that would become essential later in life. In Ryan Martin's story, his mother taught him discipline, an enviable work ethic, and the commitment to excellence. These values were necessary for building a trustworthy brand. When Ryan got his first car in high school, he had already become curious about cars and machines. He drove the car to school and soon began making performance modifications to it. The Fox body Mustang eventually became the one vehicle that affirmed his talent. He transformed what many saw as a regular street car into something unique, simply by applying the mechanical knowledge he had learned working alongside his father. What he might not have realized at that moment was that this was also the spark that ignited his passion for speed. Through late nights in the garage and countless hours of fine-tuning, Ryan made a name for himself in the X275 ranks. The Mustang was first his high school car and then became a street car. In time, it evolved into a machine competing in one of radio racing's most competitive classes. Every modification and adjustment gave Ryan a deeper understanding of the relationship between the driver, the machine, and the dangerous roads. He modified the Mustang to the point where it made a pass at an impressive 4.59 at 161 miles per hour. These numbers were not just numbers, they were a statement. This was not what anyone expected from a modified Mustang. It proved that Ryan was a real threat in the racing community. He started at the inception of the X275 class and worked his way all the way to the top with his high school Fox body Mustang. For those who might wonder, the X275 is one of radio racing's most competitive categories, where the margin between winning and losing is incredibly narrow. It is unusual for a newbie to enter this category and instantly rise to the top. But Ryan's success didn't come simply because he had a fast car. It was his mastery of launch techniques, tire dynamics, and track readings. With each race, he took notes and improved faster than his peers. It wasn't that others weren't taking notes. They were, but Ryan was different. He was focused, determined, and built for this. As his expertise grew, so did his reputation. He became the go-to guy for extracting maximum performance from engines. When he noticed other racers approaching him with questions about their machines, he realized he had something more to offer. This led to the founding of BNR Performance in Oklahoma City. a venture co-founded with his business partner, Billy Hayes. The shop quickly became the recommended spot for legal race cars with high-quality modifications. Through the shop, Ryan helped drivers like Freakin' Ryken and Jackie Knox. It became Oklahoma's hub for the street racing community. Racers from all parts of town came to B&R Performance after hearing Ryan's reputation for delivering exceptional results. Every client's car gave Ryan a new experience. Through trial and error, he learned about engine dynamics and turbo selections, always searching for the why behind every failure. His business partner, Billy Hayes, shared his vision of building the fastest street-legal cars in the country, and together they created something special. The shop's reputation grew even faster than Ryan's name after his X275 success. Their consistency spread like wildfire within the street racing community. Since 2015, the company has offered its own line of performance packages. Ryan drives the Fireball Camaro and acts as his own living advertisement. Who better to show what the shop could do than the man who built its most powerful machine? The shop continues to thrive year after year, offering upgrade packages ranging from $8,899 to nearly $50,000. Understanding how essential cars are to racers' lives, it's no surprise how much clients are willing to invest in custom work. Probing Ryan's business sense, B&R Performance did not limit itself to automotive upgrades. The shop also sells hats, shirts, cups, keychains, and even die-cast cars. These die-cast models, made from metal and molded into miniatures of real vehicles, range from simple toys to collectible, detailed replicas that enthusiasts love. For years, Ryan was content being the man behind the scenes, the builder of dreams. He was the person who made other racers' ambitions possible. But eventually, he decided it was time to step into the spotlight himself. After spending years watching drivers win or lose in cars he had built, he felt the desire to compete. He decided to put his skills to the test and challenge the best street racers in Oklahoma City. And with that decision, the builder became one of the biggest competitors on the asphalt. His timing matched perfectly with structural changes. Within Street Outlaws, the Pro Mods had just been removed from the OKC list to bring real street cars back into competition. This opened an opportunity for Ryan to get on the list hierarchy of the fastest racers in Oklahoma City. Getting on the list wasn't the challenge, staying on the list was where difficulty began. Ryan and Billy used the 2010 Camaro to give him the best shot possible. That car would soon become the legendary Fireball Camaro. Bill Gilsbach completed the chassis work, and the craftsmanship matched Ryan's high expectations. Almost immediately, Ryan showed up strong. He went straight to number 3, with Monza at number 2 and Daddy Dave at number 1. His rapid rise shocked many people and stirred controversy. His mechanical knowledge gave him a deserved advantage, even if some weren't ready to accept it. Ryan wasn't there for simple adrenaline. He was in tune with the machine. He had grown up inside the world of racing. He knew what it meant to command a car. His driving style combined technical precision with controlled aggression. He calculated every move, aiming for maximum traction without excessive tire spin. He could sense when something felt off during a run and diagnose issues mid-race. He also knew exactly how to communicate changes to his crew. I grew up my whole life street racing. Ryan said proof that racing wasn't something he discovered. It was something he was born into. The Oklahoma City street racing scene was intense and unforgiving. The reputation mattered. Respect had to be earned one race at a time. The 405 crew Big Chief, Daddy Dave, Murdanova, Doc, Monza, and Chuck had been racing together for years. Ryan's arrival as a newcomer shook existing dynamics. Some believed he hadn't paid his dues like they had. But although his time at number 1 didn't last long, he had proven he belonged there. With time, the controversy faded. Ron's consistency and professionalism changed people's minds. Jeff Lutz mentioned that the racing community had become like a family on the road, and that included Ryan. The show brought these racers together and showed the world that racing was more than a competition. It was a lifestyle filled with passion, struggle, rivalry, and respect. Ryan was skeptical about joining the show in the beginning, unsure if it was something he truly wanted to be part of. But after all, he was only a guy who knew his way around vehicles and had built his reputation through hard work in the shop. When the show first started and he wasn't included in it, he openly admitted his doubts. He wondered, I don't know, are people going to watch that? Is that going to be good? Can you go fast on the street? Is it going to be worth watching? His mind raced with questions about how the show would be received. He wasn't sure if racing would be portrayed on television the same way it appeared in real life, risky and unpredictable. His skepticism made sense. But the show's producers ultimately proved their vision. What followed was an unexpected rise in his career. Ryan's transition from being a full-time shop owner to becoming a superstar racer is one of those stories the racing community may never forget. Then came the surprising turn. The team proudly declared themselves the fastest group in the world, and they built their car to perform exceptionally on questionable surfaces. The first time viewers saw this new machine was on Mega Cash Days. Yet as things progressed, something changed. Things appeared to be no longer what they used to be. In recent episodes and live events, fans noticed a new and unsettling pattern. Ryan Martin was no longer as present as before. It started gradually. His appearances at No Prep Kings events became fewer, then he was missing from recent Street Outlaws episodes. Even more concerning, his social media accounts went silent. There were no updates, no car builds, no Fireball, Camaro news, nothing. Fans kept asking the same question: where is Ryan Martin? Yes, Ryan has always been a private man. Not much is known about his personal life, and most of what circulates is speculation. But despite being private, he had always been visible, posting regularly on Instagram, sharing race results, and showing progress on builds. His sudden disappearance was impossible for fans to ignore. Concern grew quickly on Facebook groups, Instagram, fan pages, and racing forums. He had not been to any recent events. There were zero updates about the Fireball Camaro. The silence felt unusual because one of the things people loved most about Ryan was how accessible he was. He stayed connected, showed up, and gave his all, both in person and online. As the days passed, speculation grew. Fans pointed out his absence from events where he would normally be guaranteed to show up. Places where seeing him was part of the excitement. His Instagram activity also dramatically decreased. For someone who had always shared victories, setbacks, and behind-the-scenes work, the quiet felt alarming. To understand why this concerned so many people, it is important to know that this silence was completely out of character. Ryan had been one of the most active racers in the community. As a three-time No Prep Kings champion with titles in 2019, 2021, and 2022, his attendance at events felt almost mandatory. People traveled miles just to watch the legendary Fireball Camaro tear up the track. Fans loved his technical explanations, his racing strategies, and his willingness to talk openly about car builds. He became the racer everyone wanted to see, both in Street Outlaws and in the larger racing world. On most days, people could count on finding Ryan at B&R Performance, working with his team, turning wrenches, tuning engines, or helping build some of the fastest street-legal cars in the country. But this time, there was nothing. It was complete radio silence. Some reports even suggested that members of his own crew were surprised by the sudden change. Then the rumors started. Some were dramatic, others exaggerated, but all fueled by the lack of information. A few fans worried that it might be a serious health issue. Some feared the worst and began circulating false claims that he had passed away. Blogs picked up the rumors, media outlets circulated them, and soon the idea spread that Ryan Martin might no longer be alive. His absence had taken on a life of its own. But Ryan Martin is not dead. Still, health issues remain one of the only explanations that make sense for this dramatic shift in behavior. For someone as dedicated as Ryan, stepping away voluntarily during his prime racing years would be nearly unthinkable, unless something beyond his control forced him to slow down. The racing world has witnessed other drivers go through personal or family health crises, often followed by sudden public disappearance and later explanations. The same pattern seems possible here. There's been no official confirmation about what is keeping Ryan away, but the possibility of a health-related issue hangs heavily over the situation. Ryan is in his early 50s, an age where unexpected health concerns can arise. It could even involve someone close to him, perhaps a family member, requiring him to prioritize home and well-being over racing and public life. The community has responded with compassion. Racers and fans alike have expressed support, hoping for his health and looking forward to his return. While respecting his privacy, fellow racers have refrained from discussing his absence in detail, suggesting they may know more than they can publicly share. For now, they are waiting for Ryan to address the rumors himself. Meanwhile, his absence has created a noticeable void. The Fireball Camaro sits quieter than usual, and fans continue to hold their breath, hoping for the moment he will reappear, whether on the track or at the next No Prep Kings Championship. Street Outlaws has always thrived on intensity, competition, and surprises. One moment you're racing, and the next you're thrown into unexpected situations. The show itself premiered on the Discovery Channel on June 10, 2013, introducing viewers to a world that had existed underground for decades. Produced by Pilgrim Studios, the series followed a tight-knit group of Oklahoma City street racers. Oklahoma may be known for many things, but few knew it as one of America's biggest underground street racing communities. What began as a simple attempt to document a hidden culture turned into one of television's biggest reality franchises. The show ran for 15 seasons and produced multiple successful spin-offs. Street Outlaws did something unprecedented. It brought underground street racing into mainstream American entertainment. It showed the world that OKC had more going on than people assumed. The story of how the show started almost feels like fate. Justin Shearer, Big Chief, had been racing and running Cash Days events for nearly 2 decades. Their races were posted on YouTube, mostly for entertainment and community sharing. When Pilgrim Studios began searching for a new concept, they stumbled across these videos and traveled to Oklahoma to meet the racers. None of the OKC crew expected to catch the attention of television producers. It felt too sudden, too unlikely, almost like a trap. They were hesitant to trust the opportunity, but once they realized it was legitimate and not a setup to arrest them for illegal racing, they agreed to give it a shot. No one expected the show to go beyond season 1, not even the production company. Big Chief once shared that Pilgrim told them it would be one and done. But the moment the show aired, the public loved it. Viewers enjoyed watching the races, the intensity, and even the scenes where the guys worked on their cars. The initial skepticism vanished. The combination of raw racing and real-life personalities proved irresistible. The cast selection was left entirely to the OKC team. Big Chief said they already had a strong dynamic, so Pilgrim trusted them. The slower drivers were naturally eliminated, and the legendary top 10 list became the deciding factor. If you could make the list, you were in España. This made the process fair because it prioritized genuine racing ability over television-friendly appearances. The original cast included Justin Big Chief Shearer, Sean Murdanova, Ellington, James Daddy, Dave Comstock, Jerry Monza Johnston, Joe Dominier Woods, Tyler Flipperty, Chuck Seitzinger, Brian Gotti, Cook Bio Tisano, Wayne Varley, and the duo of Farm Truck and Azion. Each one brought his own personality, style, and racing approach. The audience quickly became attached. They watched the racers argue, joke, and push each other to be better. The chemistry between the 405 boys made the show unforgettable. Fame caught him off guard. Jeff Lutz once recalled attending a race and being stunned to see hundreds of fans lined up for autographs and merchandise. Their lives changed overnight without them even realizing it. By production for España Street Outlaws was a careful blend of authenticity and safety. The producers secured permits, blocked roads, and kept emergency crews on standby, but the races themselves were real. No one was paid to win or lose. The producers didn't manipulate the outcomes because doing so would destroy street credibility. This approach allowed Discovery to film high-speed racing safely while preserving the truth of the sport. However, tragedy struck early. The first episode aired only days after Tyler Flipperty passed away, casting a shadow over the moment. Still, the show's success sparked an empire. In 2018, No Prep Kings became the newest and perhaps most competitive edition. More spin-offs followed. Street Outlaws New Orleans in 2016 and Street Outlaws Memphis in 2018.